But as Scott alluded to with the head coach a moment ago, East Central was 14-33. Henderson State will put up a bunch, as Bo alluded to. Nearly 25 three-point tries a game from Jill Thomas through 10 games this year. They average 8 makes beyond the perimeter. They've been solid against the three-point ball as well, allowing just 16 shots from long distance and only a little more than 4 three-point baskets made. Bison, again, not a particularly great rebounding team, although they've been much better over the last half month or so. Before the Christmas break, Henderson State has struggled to the glass as well, but a much better offensive rebounding club. Scott, you look at the numbers, and you alluded to this with Bo, 14-33. That's not a number that is normally a success, a recipe for success. It was enough for a victory in Ada, but overall this team allows just 7 made three-point baskets a game, and again, at repeat, 32% three-point field goal shooting.
Yeah, against East Central, Oklahoma Baptist was in that 2-3 zone, like Coach Overton said in the interview, that he's going to limit paint touches, layups. I think that East Central got comfortable in that latter half down in Ada where they were just wheeling the ball, making that 2-3 zone move, and then finding that open three-point shooter. They shot 42.4% against the Bison. That's a lot of three-pointers, 14. And if OBU just kept them in the single digits, they would have easily won that, but it was some big plays, as we talked about earlier, to win that game down at ECU.
According to the preseason coaches poll in the Great American Conference, OBU has exceeded expectations with a 3-way tie heading into 2023 for first place. Oklahoma Baptist was picked 8th. Henderson State was preseason picked 3rd in that league coaches poll, and they have had a ton of success under Jill Thomas. In fact, they have had 5 consecutive winning seasons in conference play, and their best period under Jill Thomas, who's in her 10th year, came for the years of 2017 through 2020, where they won 59 games over a 3-year period. 8 Great American Conference tournaments, 3 trips to the semifinals, 14 all-Great American Conference selections. That's part of the story of what the former Pfeiffer, North Carolina head coach has done. Jill Thomas, in her 10th season at Arkadelphia, she has led the Reddies to 127 victories during her time. OBU 8-2, 4-0 in the conference. Welcome to Henderson State tonight. The Reddies 3-1 in the conference and 6-4 overall. Some other pregame notes. The starters just around the corner as well, and tip coming up at 5:30 for Henderson and Oklahoma Baptist here on the Bison Sports Network at Classic Hits KGFF. Okay, no, not yet. Still got about 6 minutes. and 3 here on Saturday afternoon to wrap up the homestand of the next week. It's the trip to Searcy and Russellville to face Harding at Arkansas Tech. OBU is one of 3 teams, the other Harding and Ouachita, that have 3 players in the top 25 of the conference in scoring. That would be the second leading scorer in the league. Erica Ankney's averaging 20.1 points per ball game. Also in the top 25, Madison Chambers, a career high 12.9 points per ball game, and Jaden Getman is averaging 11.8 points per ball game. Encouraging sign, though, Scott, over the last couple of outings. Jill Leslie has looked much more like the Jill Leslie at the end of her freshman year a year ago. Her scoring average almost up to 4 a game now, and she's averaging nearly 5 rebounds per contest.
6 boards down at Ada for Jill Leslie. That's big. She's 6'3". She's taking advantage of that. What she does is play big inside. Doesn't have to block all those shots. A lot of altered shots. Then a lot of block shots that she doesn't even have to jump for. So that really is something you don't see in the stat sheet overall, how other teams don't score just by some of those altered shots in the paint.
Tonight will be a matchup of the top 2 scorers of the Great American Conference. We told you Ankney averages 20.1 points per ball game. She had 23 in under 33 minutes of play right before Christmas down at East Central. The league's leading scorer belongs to Henderson State. She's a 5'11 senior from Green Forest, Arkansas, Ashley Farrar. She's averaging 22 points a game and 6.3 rebounds. She's poured in 44 earlier in the game this year against Southern Arkansas. She has 6 games this year of 20 or more and has had 10 or more points in all 10 starts this season. Ashley Farrar seems like she's been at Arkadelphia forever, and she now is playing in her final season for Jill Thomas. They only have one other double-figure scorer. That's Abby Giles, a 5'7 senior transfer from Harding. She is from Searcy, Arkansas. Giles is averaging 14.7 points per ball game and 6.3 rebounds. She has had 9 straight games of 10 or more points. She had 21 points, a season high against Missouri Southern, a nationally ranked team very early in the year. Her career high is 22. That came against East Central last year. Henderson State on the road this year, 2-1. They are 2-0 on the road. They have won at Arkansas Monticello, and they have won at Arkansas Tech. Oklahoma Baptist is 4-0 here at home, 2-0 in Great American Conference play with wins over Northwestern and Southeastern. Fans, make sure you stay up to date with the latest at OBU Sports by following us on Facebook at OBU Bison and on Twitter and Instagram at OBU_athletics. If you're coming to tonight's game or a game of the future, make sure you visit the concession stand here at the Noble Complex. They have all your food and drink needs. They're under new management, and it's a locally owned group, JD's Eats, that is providing the goodies here inside the Noble Complex. They have all beef hot dogs to delicious frito chili pies. JD Eats has you covered, and they invite you to come watch Bison Hoops and just eat. Bison and Henderson State, the first of 2 games. The 2 teams will play next month at Arkadelphia in a return matchup. Big road trip for Henderson State, both for men and women. They get OBU tonight and then finish on Saturday afternoon against Southern Nazarene. Both of SMU's teams predicted to be in the top 8 along with Oklahoma Baptist in hoops. One other reminder that you can show your OBU spirit and rep Carip with officially licensed Bison apparel from ShopOBUBison.com. ShopOBUBison.com is the official online store of OBU Athletics and the only place to buy OBU apparel, accessories, gifts, and more, with purchases benefiting Bison Athletics. We'll take our final pregame timeout. Be back to introduce you tonight's starting lineups and tip off Henderson State and Oklahoma Baptist round 1 next here on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF.
Oklahoma Baptist University Bison. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand and join us for tonight's invocation. Be given by OBU Professor of Economics Craig Walker, and please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Bison Brigade.
Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to be here and enjoy this ball game. We ask that you keep the players safe. We ask that you help us to be good sports, to be your servants. We ask that you bless us all with a safe trip home. In Jesus' name, amen.
You can just bring me up if the commercial ends before the national anthem. Bison Brigade with the national anthem before tip-off tonight here at Oklahoma Baptist University and from Bison Hill and the Noble Complex. Welcome inside. Todd Miller, Scott Wanish, and our producer-engineer back in the KGFF studios, Tony. Glad to be along with you tonight for OBU and Henderson State in a men's and women's basketball doubleheader. Here's a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for Jill Thomas, we gave you her accolades early in the pregame show. 127 wins at Henderson State. This is her 10th season. She'll start Suni Martin, a 5'8 redshirt junior from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Suni Martin is averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds a game. She has scored 13 points 2 times this year for a season high. Ashley Farrar is a 5'11 senior from Green Forest, Arkansas, leading the conference in scoring at 22 points a game. Also pulling down 6.3 rebounds while shooting 48%. She has a high this year of 44 against Southern Arkansas. Abby Giles will start, a 5'7 senior from Searcy, Arkansas, to transfer from Harding. Their second leading scorer, averaging 14.7 and 6.3 rebounds. Gracie Raby is a 5'6 senior from Mount Vernon, Arkansas, averaging 9.7 points per ball game and 2.7 rebounds. And Tamia Templeton, a 5'10 senior from Morrilton, Arkansas, completes their starting lineup. She averages 3 points and 3 rebounds. So again, it's Martin, Farrar, along with Giles, Raby, and Templeton tonight for Henderson State. Here are the starters for Bo Overton at Oklahoma Baptist University. Again, they are in a 3-way tie for first. After 4 Great American Conference games, they're off to their best start in school history in Division II basketball. Madison Chambers will start, a 5'11 senior from Muldrow, averaging 12.9 points per ball game and 1.8 rebounds. Jill Leslie had 6 rebounds in the road win before Christmas at East Central. Leslie is a 6'3 sophomore from Wichita Falls, averaging 3 points and 4.6 rebounds. Kennedy Large is a 6-foot sophomore from Bing. She averages 4.9 points per ball game and 4.1 rebounds. Erica Ankney, the second leading scorer of the Great American Conference, at 20.1 points per ball game and 3 rebounds. She also leads Oklahoma Baptist in assists. Ankney is a 5'7 graduate student from Hera, transfer first from ORU and then Oklahoma City University. And Jaden Getman, the freshman from Stratford, a 6'3 freshman, completes the lineup, averaging 11.8 points per ball game and 5.4 rebounds. So again, it's Chambers, Leslie, Large, Ankney, and Getman, the starters for Oklahoma Baptist. Bison will wear the home white, green, and gold. Henderson State taking the floor. And if you're watching on the Bison Sports Network, you see that they are in their crimson uniforms with the gray Reddies in numerals across the uniforms and a touch of white as well. These two have usually played a very interesting ball game. 9 of the previous 12 since 2015 have belonged to the Reddies. Tonight, though, you would have to say Oklahoma Baptist comes in a slight favorite to defend here with their home court.
Yeah, I would say that as well. Coach Overton talked about how good Henderson State is. And, I asked him, 3-1 and 4-0, a win here would put the tiebreaker and stuff, the Reddies on top of the Bison. They'd both be 4-1. So the Bison really need to hold home court here.
Jill Leslie will oppose Tamia Templeton at midcourt, and we are ready for round 1 of Great American Conference basketball tonight here from Shawnee. First visit this year by a school from Arkadelphia. The second one, Ouachita comes in Saturday afternoon. Bison have controlled the opening tip as they go to work out front. Leslie with the first touch, slot right, guarded by Tamia Templeton, dribbles left, gets it to Ankney. She angles through the top of the key. Now to Jaden Getman, 12 to shoot off the dribble, pulls up left wing and knocks down the jumper. And just like that, it's 2-0 Bison.
Bison are to be tough if the freshman Getman can score like that off the dribble with that pull-up jumper.
SUNY Martin with it into the front court to Farrar. Ashley crosses over. Early assignment defensively belongs to Madison Chambers in the league's leading scorer. Giles right side against the zone, lobs it across the floor, and on the sideline was Farrar, and that will cost Henderson State their first turnover of the contest.
Well, we always say there's not very much room there by the three-point. I didn't think Farrar stepped on the line. Of course, I couldn't see through the Bison bench. Farrar didn't like that call.
9:11 to play opening period on a field goal by Jaden Getman. Oklahoma Baptist with an early 2-0 advantage. Into the front court, Ankney lobs it for Leslie. They collapse. She'll kick it out to Jaden. Right corner three, a little too strong. Down for the rebound is SUNY Martin. Here comes Martin into the front court. She'll veer from left to right. Underhands a pass now to Raby. Raby works to the elbow, pivots and lobs it across the floor to Martin. 2-0 Oklahoma Baptist early. Ferraro put up a three, back rims that one for the right quarter. Ankney with a rebound. Up ahead to Chambers, one-on-one against Martin to the goal. She overshot it, and the rebound to Ashley Farrar. Farrar then goes to the floor. It's taken away by Ankney to the goal for the bucket, and it's 4-0.
Wow, Ankney, she's got that high basketball IQ. You'd think she'd be back as a safety, but she stayed back there and picked that loose ball up for the layup.
4-0 Oklahoma Baptist. Farrar with it right quarter. Now on the wing. They go to Templeton down low, banging it against Leslie. Spins, goes up left-handed, missed it. Nobody even close for the Reddies for the rebound. OBU has it. Ankney into the front court. Gallops to the right side. Now out pops Sketman. Thought about a three. Tries to drive. Is cut off by Abby Giles. 8:06 to play opening period. 4-0 Oklahoma Baptist trying to run their win streak to 8 in a row. Ankney to Getman, right low post, and Getman is going to be called for a travel. And Mo Overton, quick to jump up, looked as agile as he did back in his playing days under Billy Tubbs at Oklahoma, says, put the ball on the floor. SUNY Martin into the front court, right side for Giles. Oklahoma Baptist is in that 2-3 zone. We played 2-10 here in the opening period, 4-0 in favor of the good gals. Right baseline, Raby, and she knocks down the jumper. So the 5'6 senior from Mount Vernon gets Henderson State on the board. It's 4-2 Bison.
Well, Gracie Raby, that's her shot. Right around 11 feet and in, those little short jumpers. She's not very tall. Somebody's got to get a hand up and challenge that shot.
Raby shoots 37%. She gets her first field goal of the night to drop. 15 to shoot for OBU. Getman goes to work at the right low post, spins into what looked to be close to a double team, but they're going to call the foul on Tamia Templeton. That's the first on Henderson State with 7:24 to play in the opening period. If you're just joining, back-to-back field goals by Ankney and Getman gave OBU the lead. It's now 4-2 Bison. Right corner with the inbounds pass is Jaden Getman. That's Kennedy Large. Driving left. Chambers pivots, goes up, shoots over Giles, and she missed it. Rebound to Henderson State. Raby into the front court. Stationary dribble. Feeds it out high to Giles. They quickly swing it left baseline. In the corner is Ashley Farrar. She'll lob it across the floor to Raby. They run her off the spot from which she hit the first field goal. Shot clock already down, under 13 now for Henderson State. Giles dribbles, pulls up, foul line right, missed it. Templeton tips the rebound away from Leslie to Farr. Farrar's three-pointer left wing, no good. Leslie the rebound, and she outlets to Chambers. Here comes OBU. Maddie attacks, is cut off by Martin, left block. Goes to Ankney. She'll penetrate, bounces it down low, and it's kicked by Ashley Farrar. So possession will stay with OBU with 6:39 to go in the opening period. Bison on a little bit of a cold streak. Wandogs still lead 4-2.
Yeah, the first trip up the court, OBU looked like they got the Reddies spread out on offense, on their defense. Now the Reddies are kind of combining, and that help side defense is helping keeping the Bison out of the paint.
Ankney with a stationary dribble, right front court. Cross courts for Chambers around a Leslie screen. She pivots at the foul line, lobs it to Getman on the baseline. Jaden backing down, goes up from 4. Shot was in and out. Rebound to Gracie Raby. That's her second here early. Into the front court, SUNY Martin. Martin with a basketball. Right side to Farrar. Raby on the baseline. She penetrates the 2-3 zone, pulls up for the block, shoots off the window and scores. Raby with 4 straight, and Henderson State has answered to tie the game with 4 minutes gone at 4.
That's what I was talking about in the pregame, kind of a wheel where you're angle right and you wheel around to the middle, up the middle of the lane. They make those all day long. You cannot let Raby have that.
Large skips it left right for Chambers, and she turns it over. Dribbled it off of her foot. It's scooped up by Giles. Up ahead to Templeton for the layup. She missed it, fortunately, but she's fouled, and that's against Kennedy Large. That's going to be her first. I said fortunately because if that ball has backspin as it was hanging on the front of the rim, it's an and one. Instead, Tamia will have to earn 2 from the line, where she's just a she's a 67% free throw shooter. First Templeton foul shot is up at back rims, caroms high and drops in. Henderson State is 68% free throw shooting team of the season.
Oklahoma Baptist has got some good shots. Madison Chambers, where her confidence is up, it looked like she was intimidated, like she couldn't get over the top of some of those defenders, even though she was taller than the defenders on her 2 shots.
Templeton's free throw gives Henderson a 5-0 run to lead for the first time. Getting onto the baseline to Ankney. She'll throw up a little teardrop runner, misses it wide left. Leslie, though, there for the stick back. Leslie with her first basket that ends a 5-0 ready run. That's 6-5 OBU.
Well, that was a quick stick back. Leslie picked that ball up, about stomach high, and then put it back up really quick. Great play.
Giles to Raby. She pump fakes, drives, pulls up from 11, missed it on the bank attempt. Templeton loses the rebound. Leslie on the floor, rips it away, and didn't look like there was much contact for a tie-up, and that will be an OBU turnover because the arrow favors Henderson State. Here comes the aforementioned Melissa Southern. We talked about her a lot on the pregame show. She was our post-game guest in the win at East Central. Mo is averaging 4.6 points per game and 2.7 rebounds, both career highs for the senior from Elk City. Farrar into the paint, uses a crossover dribble, goes at Leslie, and Jill tried to strip the ball. Instead, she's called for her first.
Well, maybe that's why she's called for a block, but Leslie has the right. She doesn't have to take the charge perfectly. Her body was sideways to the dribbler, but she has position right there in front of that semicircle. She doesn't have to move out of the way.
Sierra Copeland and Malou Savannah are into the ball game. Leslie, who picked up that foul, will go to the bench. 6-5 Oklahoma Baptist. 5 minutes to play here in the opening period. And the conference leading scorer in Ashley Farrar has her first point. She hits the first free throw. She, as you would expect, a good free throw shooter at 75%. And she rolls that one home. Henderson State now has scored 7 of the last 9 points. We are halfway through the opening period, 7-6 Reddies.
Yeah, the Bison need a couple basket here. Looked like the Reddies were off kilter. Now they're getting a lot of confidence in this building.
Savannah to Chambers, right wing side. Maddie pulls up, knocks down a mid-range jumper. That's where she's improved so much is off the dribble. 8-7 Bison.
Yeah, that's not an easy shot to create your own points like that. Nice soft touch on the right baseline.
Way out front. Giles for 3, misses it, and Templeton crashes for the rebound, and Tamia's been called for her second. She went over the back, and she has both for Henderson State, and we get a timeout with 4:33 to play in the opening period. Bison have it out of the break. OBU leads Henderson State 8-7 on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF. Okay.
Hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com. At Boomerang, we are proud to say that word of mouth has filled our restaurants for over 15 years. The appeal to Boomerang covers all ages. Come and visit our Shawnee locations and you will see why we have been voted Best Burger, Best Breakfast, and Best Waitress.
Rebounds even at 6, 2-1 of the offensive glass, Henderson State. Turnovers, 2 for the Reddies, 2 for Oklahoma Baptist. Points off turnovers, 3-2 Henderson. 8-7 of the scoreboard. Chambers operates out front. Southern to the wing to Copeland, who fumbles it, gets it back to Chambers. Now she tries to drive around a screen from Sierra. They roll her. It's well defended. It's tipped away. Body's on the floor. It's taken away by Henderson State and a foul.
Well, that's unfortunate because on that pick and roll, wide open underneath the basket was Sierra Copeland. She was going right into the paint. Madison Chambers telegraphing that pass, and it was intercepted.
Sierra Copeland picks up her first foul. Now 3 different Bison have a foul here in the opening period. 4:10 to go. Opening period. Todd Miller, Scott Wattish with you on the Bison Network and Classic Hits, KGFF here in Shawnee. Farrar around a screen, goes into the paint. The shot's blocked by Copeland. Good defense by the youngster. Chambers has it. Pivots, now goes to Getman. Jaden cross courts it left side for Savannah. Raby covers her up. Now to Jaden, swings it right to Mo.
That's outstanding play by Copeland. It's not easy stopping Farrar, the league's leading scorer, off the dribble in the paint. She held her ground and blocked that shot.
Good feed by Chambers. Getman, though, overshot the basket. Rebound to Henderson State. Both of these teams defending well here in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the ball game. Right corner, Jasmine Bailey, who just checked in out of that break, misses the 3. Underneath, it's Farrar with a rebound. Back to Bailey. She gathers to Templeton, and now they're going to pull it back out front. Shot clock is reset. It's curling at 12 for Henderson. Farrar with it above her head, right wing side. Looks for a cutter. Bailey. It's tipped away by Chambers. Getman has it. That's turnover number 3 now for Henderson State. Chambers all the way to the goal and a blocking foul. And that will be against Farrar, and that's going to be her first.
They're going to give her 2 shots, too.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if that was on the shot or on the floor. It looked like more of the latter and not the former.
Yeah, it was on the floor because Maddie wasn't in the act of shooting. She's dribbling, but it was fortunate that the official ruled that way.
Kennedy Large is back in. Jaden Getman is out. Chambers will go to the free throw line where she's shooting 79%. She's better than an 80% free throw shooter in her stay here on Bison Hill, and she misses the first one. OBU, one of the better foul shooting teams. In fact, they are the best free throw shooting team of the conference at 81%. In fact, they rank in the top 5 nationally in free throw percentage as well. This to put the lead to 2 is up and good. The Chambers has her third, and here comes Ankney to replace Maddie. 9-7 Bison, just 3 minutes to play here in the first period.
It was that set up her own free throws with that defensive touch. She got the ball back, went hard to the goal.
Martin goes hard to the goal, pulls up from 11 and knocks it down to the paint. Suni Martin with the basket, and that's her first. We're tied at 9 with 2:50 to play in the period.
That's a good measure by Martin because 6'3" Copeland was right there. Put a little extra arc on it just over the fingertips.
Ankney to the goal, throws it up left-handed, misses everything. Farrar with a rebound, attacks back the other way, doesn't have the numbers, underhands right side. Back up front is Martin. Great transition defense by the Bison.
It was Mo Southern foot for foot with Farrar, who's a great dribbler. Great job by Mo Southern staying with Farrar.
Farrar will put up a 3 right wing. That one rolls off, and guess who challenged it? Melissa Southern, and the rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Bailey.
I'll say one other good thing about Sierra Copeland. When she first came in the game, a great block out. That's exactly why Tamia Templeton got a foul because of the great block out by Sierra Copeland.
Jill Thomas working the official on the near side. Copeland with a drop step goes up and rattles the jumper home. Sierra Copeland off the bench with her first bucket. She averages just under 2 points per ball game. That's 3 straight for the Bison. They lead by 2, and a foul at the other end called against Melissa Southern.
The sophomore Copeland has been playing tougher and tougher every contest this season.
Tamia Templeton with 2 fouls is out. Martin will inbound the basketball as Bobby Bazell has checked in. They'll bounce it for Farrar to the baseline. She spins away from Savannah, goes back to her, flips it over her head. It's off the rim and out of bounds. Farrar is now 0 of 6 shooting here in the first period. Yet her team trails just 11-9 with $1:54 to go.
Yeah, the Bison missing a lot of shots. Jaden Getman on the opening play, she made the toughest shot that she took and missed the 3 easier shots. So OBU's got to make a couple of those easier shots.
Large through the top of the key to Ankney. OBU needs to take advantage of this cold shooting Henderson team. They're just 23% late here with the opening 10-minute period. They nearly throw it away. Over the top, Large gets a deflected pass to Ankney. She'll drive to the goal and lay it in.
What a play by Erica Ankney. The shot's going to get blocked. She holds it in front of her chest and quickly off the glass before the shot blocker can get there.
13-9 Oklahoma Baptist. Giles curls over the top of the circle, hands it off to Ashley Farrar, right side. In the league's leading scorer, 0 of 6. They work it down low to Bazell, and a foul. It's actually Basil, and that is on Kennedy Large, who has her second. That's also team foul number 5 against the Bison of the period. So it's 2 shots now for Henderson State. And into the ball game comes Camden Graves for just the 4th time. True freshman from Joshua, Texas, averaging 0.3 of a point and a rebound in her prior 3 appearances. Basil at the foul line is 5 of 10 this year, so that's the good news. Only a 50% foul shooter, and the first one is up and back rims. Bison lead it by 4. It is their biggest, equals their biggest lead here of the first period. They led by 4, 90 seconds into the opening session. Second free throw by Basil is up, and that one back rims. Ankney with a rebound. Minute 12 to go in the opening period. Ankney speeds out of the front court left side. 22 to shoot for the Bison. Left corner is Malou Savannah. Out high to Ankney, top of the circle. Copeland working against Basil, hands it off to Malou. Savannah to Southern right wing side with 10 to shoot. Mo drives baseline, try to cross court it, and Martin knocks it away out of bounds with 9 to shoot.
Here's some good communication by OBU. Both at the top rings of the lane on that free throw. Southern's talking to Ankney, who's going to get the shooter. She said, you are. So Southern got the shooter. Ankney was free to get that long rebound out of the lane.
5 seconds to shoot. Ankney left quarter to Southern. Mo spins. 2 seconds, 1 second. She goes up. The shot was blocked by Giles. And it's a shot clock violation as the ball was never controlled. It rolled out of bounds, so that'll be a turnover for Oklahoma Baptist. A difference of 14.5 seconds between shot and game clock. 13-9 Bison. 36 seconds to go here in the first period. Martin, right wing side to Giles. Back to Martin. Suni right side. Jasmine Bailey. Underneath the goal, Raby drives back door, overshoots everything. Basil with the rebound, trying to kick it out, and Southern read that perfectly and intercepts the pass. 18 seconds to go in the first period. Southern bounces it out high. That's Camden Graves. Now to Ankney. 15 seconds to play in the period. They go right side to Southern. Melissa with the basketball. OBU leading by 4 with 8 seconds to go in the period. Copeland hands it to Southern, who loses it, gets it back. 4 seconds, 3 seconds to go in the period. Southern drives in, slips, and that's a turnover. Just too stagnant of a possession. But give Henderson State credit. They have packed their defense for this road trip.
Yeah, and the Bison are telegraphing a lot of passes.
Ankney nearly intercepted a pass for Martin. She'll bring it to the front court and will not get the shot off before the buzzer. So, OBU closes strong. They take a 4-point lead to the second. After one in Shawnee, Oklahoma Baptist 13, Henderson State 9 on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF.
Starting at $5.49 and a student special. That includes a large one-topping pizza and cheesy bread for only $10. Marco's Pizza Lovers get it. And be sure to
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
I'm attorney.
$14, 43%. OBU, 5 turnovers. Henderson State with 4. Rebounds dead even at 10. Game's leading scorer, Erica Ankney with 4 points. Gracie Raby with 4 for Henderson State. Farrar 0 for 5. I think we said 0 for 6. She's 0 for 5 shooting in the first 10 minutes and 0 for 3 from three-point range. Possession of the Bison to start the second period. Ankney turns the corner, goes to the goal, and they're going to call a shoving foul against Templeton. That's her third.
Wow.
I think they bailed Erica out. She was under the goal, and when the shot went up, now maybe that was because she was pushed, but it did hit the bottom part of the backboard.
Well, yeah, and that part of it is the defender was behind Ankney, so when you're from behind, a lot of times you're going to get called. Great job by Ankney off the dribble, making that man-to-man defense move.
Amy Shelby right now getting an earful from Jill Thomas as Ankney hits both free throws. Erica's 85.5% for the line, one of the better free throw shooters in the conference. 15-9 as the run continues for Oklahoma Baptist. 9:44 to play in the first half. Giles with it out high. They bounce it in the left corner. That's fumbled out of bounds. Fifth turnover for Henderson State. Raby couldn't find the handle.
OBU's 2-3 zone was spread out that time all the way outside the three-point line. He was making the Reddies play a little bit faster. It was a very narrow passing lane in the left corner, went out of bounds.
This game looking like a game, Scott. First to 55 or 60 wins. Down low, Chambers spins, draws a double, kicks it left corner. Leslie's three is good. Jill Leslie showing her range. She has 5, and it's 18-9 OBU.
Spin pivot, reverse spin pivot by Chambers in the lane, drew 2 defenders to her. Leslie uncovered in the left corner.
Giles through the paint, pulls up from 12, missed it, rebound tipped. Basil has it. Now she'll hand it off for the baseline for Giles. To Martin. This possession really discombobulated early for Henderson State against the 2-3 OBU zone that they've stretched basically sideline to sideline. Bailey tries to drive on the baseline, can't, bounces it down low. Now the bounce pass in the paint, fumbled by Basil, and that's going to be a 3-second call.
That's a good call by the
turnover for Henderson.
That was a good call by the official, the lead official, because she was camped out in the lane probably for 5 or 6 seconds, and finally, when she put it on the floor, she whistled for her.
In a season of first in the Division II era for this proud program from Oklahoma Baptist, they are the top 8 in the Central Region rankings, coming in number 8 this week. Driving left, Chambers pivots. She'll cross court and throws it out of bounds. Was looking for Leslie.
Maddie's just playing a little faster than she has to. She's faster than most people, at least off the dribble. She had that spin pivot, had some error. She could have shot it herself.
Third turnover for the senior from Muldrow, Madison Chambers. 8.5 to go before intermission. 18-9 OBU with the game's biggest lead here early. They bounce it down low. Basil, top of the key for Farrar. Farrar spinning, drop steps around Leslie and lays it in. And they're going to call a foul against Ashley Farrar. And that's going to be her second. And that was all because of the defensive effort of Jill Leslie.
You know, and I like that call too, because Farrar was stiff arming Ankney all the way down the paint. They let her go about 3 bumps, then did the same thing to Leslie, and they both hit the floor, and that's a good call.
3 field goals, 7 turnovers for Henderson State. 10 minutes or 12 minutes into the ball game. Chambers backs down, loses the defender, shoots off the window. Couldn't buy the bump, but Edens will commit the foul, and that's going to be her first. Quickly the second against the Reddies here with 8:05 to go before halftime.
I tell you, J.J. Edens is 5'9", so sometimes that's tougher at Madison Chambers to shoot over, but she was so aggressive with the dribble. Backed Edens in, back, little reverse spin pivot all the way to the left block, gets the 2 shots.
Kennedy Large comes in for Oklahoma Baptist as Chambers will go to the line for 2, and Maddie hits the first. She's 2 of 3, has her 4th point. Bison have built it to double digits at 10. Pending a second free throw.
This is a big run for the Bison here to get up by double digits. I don't know what Bo Overton told them, but they're playing with a lot more aggressiveness on the offensive end and defensive end.
Chambers misses the second free throw. Henderson State with a rebound. Martin through the top of the key, goes left wing side for Bailey. Top of the circle, Edens to Bailey. Jasmine right corner to Raby. Dribbles up to the wing now, nearly lost it. Pulls up inside the arc, bounces it down low for Basil, and that shot won't go. Leslie, another rebound, and then she double dribbled. Tell you what happened. She wanted to pass to Ankney, and she started to pick the dribble up to pass, and Erica had her back to the play.
Well, and one of the Reddies jumped the passing route, so it would have been a pick 6 like in football, where the quarterback says, I don't want to throw that.
7:27 to play here in the first half. Bison lead it by 10, but they force another turnover. Large, I think, poked a pass away, and Leslie had it. Getman into the front court. Through the paint, Ankney contested, and she's fouled.
Boy, that was a beautiful glide by Erica Ankney, just inside half court, way on the left sideline, angle to the right toward the right block with the scoop, gets bodied.
Raby with her first personal foul. That's already 4 against Henderson State here in the second period. As Allie McClennan will come into the ball game. Abby Giles comes back. Jill Thomas substituted a lot, trying to find the right combination out there to get off the scoring drought. Foul shot by Ankney, rattles in and out. It has been a prolonged scoring drought for Henderson State.
Just want to see the Bison keep their foot on this gas pedal. They can bury the Reddies going into halftime, like you said. Poor shooting by Henderson. Give some credit to OBU's defense.
Over 5.5 minutes since the last points for Henderson State. Ankney hit that second free throw. The lead is 11. Edens into the front court. Raby with it left side. Drives against Chambers, and Maddie blocks the shot. Rebound to Edens. Back to Martin through the top of the key. To JJ off the dribble. Clangs it off the hill of the rim for the free throw line. And then it's out of bounds. Kennedy Large should have just let that one go.
Yeah, you never save it under your own basket, but what Large did smartly, she was looking. She stayed in the air and threw a hard pass where they couldn't get an easy layup.
Right quarter three, Giles, no good. Rebound tipped. Henderson State has it again. Martin on the baseline, rattles it home. That ends the scoring drought of 6 minutes and 3 seconds. Martin with her second basket. It's 20-11 Oklahoma Baptist.
Yeah, backside rebounding was lacking there. 2-on-1 for the offense.
Chambers struggling to Ankney then saves it back to Jill Leslie. Under 6.5 to play before the break.
See what Ankney did? She threw it up tall where no Reddy could get it. Only Leslie at 6'3" could go up and get it.
20-11 Oklahoma Baptist, and another turnover from Chambers. Looking down low for Getman as she overthrew her.
I think Getman could have released earlier and caught that.
Top of the key, Giles, 3, no. Rebounded Kennedy, or Jaden Getman to Chambers. Madison to the goal, left-handed layup is good. Good job by Chambers.
Great job by Chambers. Great rebound by Getman coming back after that turnover to get it out to the dribbler. Chambers all the way with the left hand.
Chambers has 6, under 6 minutes to play in the half. OBU doubling up Henderson State. Left quarter, they'll trick her another 3, and Edens airballs that one right into the hands of McClendon, who has the putback.
Yeah, Lee McClendon was not blocked out on the backside by Kennedy Large.
9 offensive rebounds for Henderson State already here in the first half. They're down just 9, 22-13.
Yeah, some of the good rebounds, you see great blockouts. Like I mentioned, Sierra Copeland earlier. There's no blockouts on a couple of these rebounds.
Chambers pulls up mid-range, left angle, missed the left-handed shot. Henderson State controls the rebound. Edens into the front court, pivots underneath the foul line. Goes to Raby on a cross-court pass. Now they'll bounce it off of the baseline for Giles. And a foul in the paint called against OBU.
It's going to be on Large.
That is numero 3 on Kennedy Large.
Personal team foul number 1. And for the Reddies, number 5.
Large hit McClendon pretty hard, but you know McClendon, Todd, is just hanging out in the lane. They're giving a lot of leeway there. Not a lot of 3 seconds called in Division II. But I know that was a foul, but I like Large being really physical because she knocked McClendon sideways.
Large is out, and this is a sight for sore eyes. Kayla Highfield was out on the floor for the first time since December the 3rd here against Northwestern. Martin inbounds, gets the return pass, tries to penetrate, and is forced to give it up out high. Brindley Huggins. And now they work it down low, and the layup is good.
Raby does that all the time. She'll dribble down the baseline. Now we have a steal by the Reddies.
Basil with it, right quarter, left quarter. Martin for 3, it's an air ball and a rebound out of bounds, and nobody boxed out that time. Jasmine Bailey, but it just came down hot and hit her in the leg and found out of bounds.
Yeah, an air ball. Actually, I think Getman pushed one defender or offensive rebounder up the right side of the lane, but the Reddies are having multiple rebounders on the backside shots.
Bo is furious about the lack of defensive rebounding. Timeout, full 49 to play in the first half. Bison by 7 over Henderson State on the Bison Network and KGFF. Okay. Henderson State off to an 0 of 9 3-point shooting start, 6 of 26, 23% for the Reddies. OBU at 47%. I know you saw the same thing I did. That's as mad as I've seen Bo in a long time.
Oh, yeah, it was 9-1 offensive rebounding, Henderson State's favor.
That'll make him happy. Leslie in front of the rim hits a turnaround shot, 24-15. 4.5 to play here in the first half. Total rebounds, Henderson State by 3. Offensive rebounds, Henderson by 8. OBU on the defensive glass plus 5, 13-8. Good bounce pass, and Basil finishes it off.
Well, OBU knows there's just a guard dribbling and then one post hanging down low. That's the only area you need to guard. You don't need to guard the outside or anything. Just go to that player.
OBU plus 2, 12-10 now in the paint. Ankney with it, foul on extent of the wing. Now to Leslie, top of the circle, 12 to shoot, 4 to play in the half. Getman bangs her way to the goal, missed it. The rebound tipped out of bounds, and it will go to Henderson State. Finishing my thought about Highfield before the timeout, they actually were checking her heart. She told us before the ball game it was not a heart issue. They don't really know what it was, but they took her time until all the medical tests cleared to bring her back. Bounce pass out high, Raby. She goes to the goal, overshot the rim, and a foul. Basil was over the back of Jaden Getman, and that's her first.
Good rebounding position by Getman. Great to see Kayla back.
What is?
Sometimes she does some of the spectacular, creative shots, and then she'll hit back-to-back threes, just sizzling hot. I think she had a lot to do with putting Northwestern away in that home victory here.
That's the 5th foul of the period against Henderson State, so it'll be 2 shots for Jaden Getman, who's 89% for the free throw line. I asked Kayla before the game, I said, what it is about you and Northwestern? I mean, she's had some of her best games of her career against the Lady Rangers, and the first free throw is good. She said, well, I know their system. She said, I was coached by Jade Jones, who, of course, coached and played for Tasha Dieselhorst and Alva. Second free throw is good, and it's 26-17. It's a comfort thing, too, I think. 3:38 to play in the first half. Bailey with it, left wing, bounces it off with a block for Raby. Back to Bailey, right off the arc. Takes 3 steps, and it's called for a travel.
I see what Bailey was seeing. She saw such a nice little seam there that but she only has 2 steps. She said, well, let me see if I get away with that third one.
26-17 OBU. Their biggest lead has been by 11 with 7:25 to go here in the first half. That's been 4 minutes ago. There's turnover number 11 for OBU on a bad pass. Left side, Brindley Huggins.
Yeah, that pass has got to be high for Leslie at 6'3". You can't just throw it shoulder high.
On the baseline is Raby. On the wing, it's Bailey. Back to Huggins, to Bailey. Underneath the Raby, goes up, and Leslie blocks another shot. Rebound to Chambers. Maddie down the middle of the floor, veers left. Turns the corner to the goal, and she lays it in.
That's Madison Chambers we know this year. Improving, a little head fake, dribble, kept their dribble alive off the board.
28-17 OBU. Baseline right, Raby to Bailey for 3. That one rolls off with the right wing. Rebound poked out. Ankney runs it down. Erica with it, 1-on-3. Works right side, tries to drive to the baseline. It's cut off by Martin. Now she'll pull it out to Jill. Back to Erica Ankney. 20 to shoot, 2.5 to play before the break. 28-17 Oklahoma Baptist here in Shawnee. Ankney with a stationary dribble between the circles. Veers left. Leslie pops out, now feeds it to Getman to the paint. She takes 2 steps, angling right, missed the jumper. Ball free of the floor, and Kayla Highfill is able to engage Gracie Raby, and Henderson will have it on the rotating arrow with 2:14 to play in the half.
How about Highfill? Hadn't seen her in a month. It gets straight hard on the floor for the tie-up.
She just brings another gear to this OBU team. And she's really athletic, can come in and make a lot of plays. Getman will go to the bench, and checking in for the first time, Sydney Duncan, the freshman from Oklahoma Christian Academy in Edmond. 28-17. OBU's equal their biggest lead of the night. High post left, Giles slides across the free throw line to Bailey on the right wing. Now to Martin. Suni drives left, drives underneath the basket. Cross courts it. Right wing is Giles. She'll drive in and bank home a runner.
You know, sometimes the Bison have their back to the other players. They're just ball watching. and that's what happened with that easy shot there.
Wide open dunk, and they find her with Chambers, and she's fouled. So Sydney's going to the free throw line for 2. Henderson State foul is on Edens. That's her second. How about this, Scott? And again, if you're Jill Thomas, your team is shooting 26% in the first half. You're only down 9 to one of the better teams in the conference. And your 2 leading scorers that come in averaging a combined 37 points a game have just 1 basket, and that came of the previous trip to the floor from Abby Giles. Otherwise, the duo of Giles and Farrar are a combined 1 of 12 shooting.
You know, and that's what I talked about. I don't think we've seen the best of the women's Bison basketball yet. They're holding them to low shooting, but they're still getting out rebounded by 8 on the offensive glass from not blocking out. Can you imagine if they get those defensive rebounds, what the gap here of the scoring would be? So it's great that the Bison are up 28-19. I just like to see a nice little run here. You can take Henderson State and put them away sometimes in the first half mentally.
Henderson is 0 of 10 from three-point range in the first half. They're 1 for their last 4 and 8 for 31. Duncan's first of 2 free throws is up and good. Sydney with her first point averages 4 in her freshman collegiate season, 2.5 rebounds. With that make, she's still perfect at the foul line. Second one is up, and that one is no good. She had been 8 of 8 before that miss. 29-19, approaching 90 seconds to play before the break. Giles to Martin out front. They bounce it to the foul line. Raby spins left and a foul. That's on Duncan.
Yeah.
That's her first, and it should be team foul number 2 against OBU.
Yeah, Duncan, a freshman, not used to Gracie Raby. When she gets that ball at the free throw line, it's going to be a hard, quick dribble. You got to move your feet quick.
Martin will inbound, lobs it out high. Giles ripped it away from Highfill. Left quarter, Martin 3, no good. Rebound to Savannah, trying to lob a pass out. Unfortunately, it was knocked out of bounds before Bailey could retrieve it.
Yeah, that was a gift. Right there, playing a little too fast. You get double teamed on the baseline. Savannah does not have to release that. Of course, you got 10 seconds in the backcourt. Just do a ball fake, dribble out.
OBU with 11 turnovers. They forced 9, but OBU is plus 5, 8, 3 in points off turnovers in the first half. That's big. 73 seconds to go before the break. 29-19 our score. Chambers with it, left front court. On the wing is Ankney. Ankney with a dribble. Pulls up at the free throw line. Pivots to Maddie. Chambers slides right. Now goes left. Throws up a left-hander, and around and out it goes from the middle of the paint.
Wow.
Henderson has the rebound. Martin speeds back the other way. Kicks it left side for Bailey. Jasmine cross courts it. 3 by Giles. No good. Make it 0 for 13 for Henderson from long distance here in the half. 36 seconds to go before the break. OBU leading by 10. Trying to run their Division II era best win streak to 8 games in a row. Ankney bangs her way in. Bailey cuts her off. On the baseline with it is Chambers. She'll pivot. Now it goes to Erica, who looks up at the shot clock. It's down under 10. Ankney with 7 seconds to shoot. Dribbles right. 5 seconds to shoot. She pulls up on the baseline, hoists it up. Good defense that time by Raby. It's an air ball. Henderson has it. Raby on a return pass to the goal against Highfill, and Kayla hacks her.
Yeah, Highfill came down just a little too far on the arm. She looked like she's going for the block as a tough play. Good job by Raby going strong to the goal.
Highfill with her first, team's third, 15 seconds to play in the half. So Raby will go to the free throw line where she has 6 points. She averages 9.7, third best on this Henderson team, and the free throw spins out. Henderson State, before that miss, had been 3 of 6 at the foul line. OBU has had more opportunities but not capitalized that much more. They're just 8 of 12. Second one is up and clean from Raby. And in comes Leslie as Highfill will go to the bench. Final 15 seconds of the first half here for Noble. 29-20 Oklahoma Baptist. Ankney gets the inbounds pass. Suni Martin will guard her in the backcourt. 10 seconds to go in the half. Now 6 seconds as Ankney works left of a Duncan screen. Thought about a 3, now drives, and the shot blocked down there. Good defense that time by Raby. And the half-court heave is off the front of the rim, no good. Telling you, if you're Henderson State, Scott, you really have to like where you're at. You're down just 9 points here against one of the tri-leaders of the Great American Conference despite a miserable offensive first half.
And then the leading scorer, Ashley Farrar, was on the bench for most of the second period there. So Jill Thomas and them, I agree with you. They should be confident here. 0 for 13 from downtown. That's kind of a gift to OBU, and I'll give the Bison credit closing out and challenging a lot of those three-point shots. But 0 of 13, that doesn't happen very often.
Farrar played just 9 minutes, was 0 of 5 shooting in the first half. At the break, OBU 29, Henderson 20. Our halftime report coming up next to the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF.
Family owned and operated since 1990. Subway has been serving
Thank you.
fresh ingredients, freshly prepared.
Here at SCI Supply, you truly can purchase with purpose. Whether you're a university, a K-12 school, a local nonprofit, a church, or an individual, we have exactly what you're looking for. And 100% of the profit from your purchase stays here to fulfill the mission of providing vocational training, employment opportunities, and residential care to individuals with special need. So remember, how does your purchase make a purpose? By investing in South Central, the official office supply store of OBU Athletics.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
I'm Noble McIntyre, and I'm a trial lawyer. But that was not my original plan. I went to Oklahoma Baptist University, and law school wasn't even on my radar. And then, one day it was. Why? Sometimes those with more power than others abuse that power. Instead of doing the right thing because it's the right thing, they do the wrong thing because it's profitable. An innocent victim is victimized again. They feel helpless and voiceless against the multi-billion-dollar insurance company. I saw it happen. I watched a family member suffer as the system left them feeling helpless and voiceless. I am not helpless, and I do have a voice. And for my clients, when the fight comes, the insurance company pulling strings in the shadows doesn't face a powerless victim, they face me. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law, and we will fight for you.
OBU fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com. At Boomerang, we are proud to say that word of mouth has filled our restaurants for over 15 years. The appeal to Boomerang covers all ages. Come and visit our Shawnee locations and you will see why we have been voted Best Burger, Best Breakfast, and Best Waitress.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
I'm attorney Jordan Klinger, partner at McIntyre Law. Before I came to McIntyre Law, I worked for an insurance company that defends cases. That experience provides me insight into how insurance companies operate. That knowledge helps me get the most for our clients. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law and will fight for you.
Here at SCI Supply, you truly can purchase with purpose. Whether you're a university, a K-12 school, a local nonprofit, a church, or an individual, we have exactly what you're looking for. And 100% of the profit from your purchase stays here to fulfill the mission of providing vocational training, employment opportunities, and residential care to individuals with special need. So remember, how does your purchase make a purpose? By investing in South Central, the official office supply store of OBU Athletics.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
With 7:25 to go in the second period. The best scoring run was 5 for Henderson. That was at that 5:45 mark, and the best run for the Bison was 11-0 at the 7:25 mark in the second. Lead has changed 4 times. The game's been tied 3 times. Time with the lead, the Bison, huge advantage, 17 minutes, 55 seconds to 37 seconds. Points off turnovers, Bison 8, Reddy's 3. Points from in the paint, Bison 14, Reddy's 12. Second chance points, Henderson State triples OBU 6-2. Fast break points, OBU 5-2. Points on the bench, Henderson State 5, Oklahoma Baptist University 3. Scoring by period, Henderson State trailed 13-9 in the first, 16-11 they trailed in the second, and that's where they stand now at halftime, 29-20 in favor of the Bison. Shooting by period for the Reddies, 3 of 14 from the floor, just 21.4%. 0 for 5 from downtown, 3 for 6 from the free throw line. In the second quarter, Henderson State 5 of 19, just 26.3%. Then 0 of 7 from beyond the three-point arc and 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. For the game, Henderson State's 8 of 33, 24.2%. And the huge stat of the game, the Reddies are 0 for a dozen from downtown. Free throws, Henderson State 4 of 8. For the Bison in the opening period, they were 6 of 14 from the floor, 42.9%. Missed their only three-point opportunity, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. In the second period, Oklahoma Baptist 4 for 9 from the floor, as 44.4%. 1 for 1 from downtown. That was Jill Leslie from the left corner, assist from Madison Chambers. Free throws, 7 of 10 from the line for the Bison in the game. 10 of 23 from the floor, 43.5% for OBU, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, 8 of 12, 66.7% from the free throw line. At halftime, Oklahoma Baptist University 29, Henderson State 20. This is Bison basketball on Classic Hits, KGFF. Thanks.
Just halfway home to their 8th straight win in women's basketball and the 5-0 start in Great American Conference play, but this one only halfway of the book, 16 or 20 more minutes remain, and it's 29-20 at the break. I need to correct myself from something I said in the first half. Ashley Farrar also has scored. She had 2 points but did not have points from the field. She had 2 free throws. So she and Giles, their 2 leading scorers, have a combined 4 points. They average over 36 a game and only 1 field goal between the 2 of them. Bison Athletic Association donors are making a direct and tangible impact on the success of over 450 OBU student athletes in the classroom, in the community, and in the fields of competition. When you give to the BAA, you are truly invested in champions. Learn more and sign up today at obubison.com/BAA. The second half of Henderson State and OBU women's basketball coming up next on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits KGFF. By as many as 11 on 2 different occasions. Leslie, Large, Ankney, and Getman. Erica with it in front of us, left side to Leslie in the corner, back to Erica out high. Erica Ankney against what looks to be, Scott, a matchup zone from Henderson State. Chambers slides left, now pivots. Good defense in the low post that time by Martin. Shot clock at 7. Chambers drives left, gliding and kissing the left hand up and in.
I tell you, Jill Thomas, that's a great strategy, that matchup zone. Kind of confused the Bison, but what a move up the left baseline. Found a gap, Madison Chambers with the left hand.
Martin with it right side to Ashley Farrar. Still has not scored for the floor. Has just 2 free throws in the first half. Sliding to the goal from right to left, Templeton. Out there with 3 fouls. She comes up short, but another rebound. This one by Suni Martin. Out high with it is Farrar. She'll go to the goal. Weaves around Leslie and Jill hacked her. And that is her second. We say it almost nightly, Scott. Doesn't care if it's men's or women's basketball. When you give up offensive rebounds, 9 times out of 10, something bad's going to happen. It's either points or, in this case, a chance at points after a foul.
You're right, Todd, and it's 10-1 in favor of Henderson State in this contest. OBU up by 10. I think OBU could be up in the 20s if they just took care and got that initial rebound.
Farrar hits both free throws. She has all 4 of hers at the line. Henderson State is now 6 of 10 free throw shooting. Well, they got a good ball club. Under 9 minutes to play in the first half, 31-22. Another hard-nosed bunch from Jill Thomas's club out of Arkadelphia. Leslie slides left, back right, now back left, and draws the 4th foul on Tamia Templeton. Raise your hand if you saw that one coming.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of foul there, but
I'm just saying that Jill was going to attack Tamia Templeton with those 3 fouls.
Boy, I tell you what, I do like that. It was a little bit slow, kind of back and forth, back and forth. I was kind of worried about a 3-second call there in the lane, but good job by Jill.
Basil is into the ball game. Jill Leslie's free throw hits the back rim. Bison could have a little more breathing room, too, if they'd hit their free throws. They're just 8 of 13 tonight from the stripe. Came in leading the Great American Conference at over 81%. Leslie to put the lead back to 10. Misses the second as well. Raby with another rebound. So a pair of missed opportunities there. Raby tonight already has 7 rebounds to lead the Reddies in that category. Attacking left with a basketball, Giles. Whips it across the floor to Martin. In the corner with it is Raby. She gets underneath the foul line, pivots. Now cross courts it for Farrar. Farrar spinning. Ankney stays with her. Shot clock is down to 7. Right side with it is Raby. She'll throw up a runner, and they bailed her out.
That's hard to guard Raby. Raby is really good off the dribble. She's not very tall, but she's very strong and quick, going side to side. She's just a lot quicker than Getman and got that foul.
Templeton's 4 fouls, offset with a 4th now against Kennedy Large, who's played just 11 minutes. Has really not been able to do much because of those fouls, as the first free throw by Raby is off the front rim. She's 1 of 3 at the foul line. 31-22 Oklahoma Baptist, opening 90 seconds here of the third period. And Raby hits the second. The men's game coming up between the preseason number 2 and number 3 picks in the Great American Conference Coaches Poll. Buckle it up. It'll be just as exciting as this one is. Getman, right wing, spins left into the paint, pulls up, misses long, and Raby has the rebound. Gracie 2 dribbles up ahead to Martin right side. Henderson down 8 with a basketball. They'll kick it quarter right for 3, and it's no good. Rebound is run down by Farrar, and she saved it off of Chambers out of bounds. That last 3 was put up by Giles for the right quarter, and now it's 0 of 13 3-point shooting tonight for Henderson.
There's some foot speed again. Raby and Farrar can really move with their feet and outran Getman to the basketball in the corner.
Raby bounces it for SUNY Martin on the baseline. Back to Raby on a bounce pass in front of her head coach. Raby with the left hand gets deep against Ankney. Now pivots, goes up. The shot was halfway down and rattled out off the window. Leslie has the miss with 7:17 to play in the third. Savannah out there to Leslie running the floor. Her 6-footer in the paint too strong. Farrar has the rebound, and Ashley will push from left to right across your medial down to the offensive end. And a reach-in foul against Savannah. And that's her first.
See, the last 2 times on the Bison on the offensive end, the post players, Getman and Leslie, have a huge height advantage in the paint, and they're rushing their shots. There's no need to do that when they tower over their opponent.
Third foul of the period already. They cross-courted for Raby, who gets away from Chambers. Back rims the jump shot. Basil with a rebound, and Savannah has just now committed her second.
Yeah.
And the next whistle, Scott, was 7:19 to play. Here with the third will be a 2-shot foul for Henderson State.
Wow. And that's a bad rebounding position for Savannah. And then Leslie didn't get a piece of Allen over there as well.
Near turnover, and it went through the hands of an unexpected Giles, and then Martin didn't expect it. It hit her, and she was unable to run it down. Unforced mistake there. 10th turnover for Henderson State. OBU dodges a bullet. After giving up another offensive rebound, they've allowed 11 tonight to the Reddies. Ankney, Leslie, top of the circle. And a terrible pass looking down low for Getman is intercepted by Raby. Raby right side to Farrar. She moves left through the top of the key, bounces it down low. Basil fumbles it. It's on the baseline, and a timeout before Savannah could tie up the ball from Jill Thomas on the bench.
I don't see how they give Thomas the timeout there when there's no possession. That ball's on the floor. Henderson State has got to possess that ball by themselves to get a timeout.
Again, we're at the other end, but that looked to be very close to being on the baseline.
Either that or, like you said, a tie-up with Savannah. Didn't look like clear possession to me from here, but I guess the C official rule that way.
It's a 30-second timeout, so we're keeping it right here with Oklahoma Baptist leading 31-23. Here on the Hill, we've gone mobile from schedules to news alerts about your favorite Bison programs. The OBU mobile app has you covered. You can find the app on the iPhone App Store or Google Play. You know, Scott, it doesn't matter what sport you play Henderson State in. They're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. They're going to battle you from the opening tip or the opening kickoff or the first pitch or whatever it may be until they last out of the final buzzer sounds.
Well, I tell you what, Oklahoma Baptist up 31-23 over Henderson State, 6:51 left in the third. You don't really want to play Henderson State to a close game in the end because they're used to winning. They have 2 overtime victories in the Great American Conference, one over Southern Arkansas and Arkansas Monticello, which looks to be vastly improved this year.
Arkansas Tech's women, I think, are better than maybe they were last year, and they've already won at Tucker Coliseum in Russellville, a spot we'll visit a week from Saturday. At the conclusion of the first of 3 ventures into the natural state for Oklahoma Baptist. SUNY Martin to inbound, right baseline to Raby. Slips, loses the handle, but it rolls right to Farrar, top of the circle. Back to Martin with 12 to shoot. She slide steps left against the Bison zone. Giles with the other wing, penetrates into the zone. Funnels a pass to Farrar. Farrar around 2 defenders, pulls up from 6 in the paint. She short-armed that one, and then a foul called against the Bison. They were unable to corral another miss.
Sydney Duncan was there by herself against 2 Reddies, could not get the defensive rebound.
Cost her second personal foul, and that's the 5th against OBU. So you get one of the best players in the conference to miss from point-blank range. You don't secure the miss, and here we go as Basil will go to the free throw line. Bobby's first free throw is up, and it's good. She's a 5 of 10 free throw shooter for 50% coming in. Henderson State 8 of 13 free throw, and OBU 8 of 14. Second foul shot is up, and that one is no good. The Reddies don't challenge for the rebound, so it's easily corralled by Jaden Getman.
All the offensive rebounds they're getting, I don't see why you wouldn't there.
It's a really good point, Scott. Ankney into the front court. Chambers with it right side. Now high to Savannah. Drive, shuffled her feet, and got by with it. Now it's Chambers slot right. She'll back it out between the rings. 11 to shoot. Ankney with it left side. Well, this is some good defense. Ankney driving baseline, whips it across to Duncan. Top of the key to Getman for 3. In and out. Rebound to Farrar with 6 minutes to play in the third. She'll lob it up ahead for Raby, and there's another foul against Malou Savannah.
Yeah, what happened there, Getman shot the 3-point shot. She followed her shot, so there's no safety. Malou Savannah was late getting back. Raby with great foot speed beats her there underneath the goal.
I'll be honest with you, Scott. I don't like the way this game has turned. It could be a 5-point game if Raby hits both free throws, and she's 70% for the season.
Yeah, the Bison, like you said, great defense. It looks like that matchup zone that Jill Thomas implemented here in the latter half, keeping OBU out of sync there. You know, if you look at it, the Bison really hadn't hit any like standing open jump shots other than Getman at the get-go and Jill Leslie's 3-point shot.
Raby's first free throw good. Second one is up and down, and it's a 5-point game. And Raby is in double figures with 10 points. 31-26. Oklahoma Baptist led by double figures early in the second half again, and it's nearly gone. 31-26. Told you it might be the first to 55. Chambers into the paint, pivots, goes up, missed the shot. That was good defense by Abby Giles. Into the front court, Giles goes all the way to the goal. Around Duncan, lays it up and missed it off the front rim. Now Bo Overton saying, let's push it. Southern to Chambers. She got by with a walk as she had the ball on her hip coming to the paint. Now it's Mo, right front quadrant. 21 to shoot for OBU. Southern hands it to Chambers. Chambers attacks right. Goes up, and she'll draw the foul on Martin. That's her first.
Give Henderson State a little of their own medicine. You know, Madison Chambers wasn't that confident a year ago. Now she is. Like you talked about earlier, she's better with the pull-up jumper, better with the finish, very strong with the basketball off the dribble.
You know, Scott, it's time to quit settling and attack the goal. And this is not an editorial. These officials tonight have been whistle happy. There's 25 fouls. And not really much of an advantage either way. 14 against the Bison and now 11 against the Reddies as Chambers hits the first free throw. What I'm saying is make them blow the whistle and attack the goal.
I think that's exactly what Coach Overton's strategy is. The last 3 times up the court, he had Maddie attack, attack, attack.
33-26, Chambers pays them both off. 5:11 to play here in the third. Farrar with it on the baseline. Suni Martin gets to the wing. Out high with it is Raby. Back to Suni. Open three on the way. Good. They had missed their first 13 before Martin knocks down her first triple of the night and her 16th of the year. And it's a 4-point lead with 5 to play in the third.
And that was just simple, moving the zone with one pass and then kicking it back out to the three-point shooter.
Chambers attacks again, throws up a runner, back rims it, won't go. Duncan tips it and keeps it alive. And they're going to say basketball to OBU and a timeout with 4:48 to play here in the third. It's 33-29 Bison on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF. Okay.
OBU fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com.
Henderson State in the third period is 1 for 7, yet they have cut the deficit, which was 9 at halftime, down to 4. Bison not much better, 1 of 6 in the second half. OBU will inbound. I thought, honestly, Scott, they may have gotten a break because it looked like Duncan had tipped that rebound.
Yeah, and OBU had no offensive rebounding once. Again, it was Duncan against 3 readies. Getman went back up toward the free throw line for some reason.
Chambers to Southern. She'll slide right. Dump pass down low to Duncan. Out high it goes for Savannah for 3. That one back rims. Getman battling for the rebound, and it's tipped out of bounds. The shot clock went off, and everybody stopped.
Yeah, I think Martin got a piece of Savannah's three-point shot.
And now 2 of the 3 officials are visiting. They're going to give the basketball to Henderson State. They're going to say it's a shot clock violation. And over comes A.B. Shelley to try and deal with Bo Overton, who's not happy. (33-29), and Bo walked by us, mumbling to himself, saying, "You guys messed that one all up."
How does the shot clock not reset after it hits the rim?
Well, it could have been a shot clock operator problem, too.
Yeah. I mean, you just give White the ball.
Raby to Bailey, underneath left low post, Allie McClendon. McClendon on a return pass, lays it in.
Just draw the defense to you. Good job by Martin.
33-31, the closest Henderson State has been since the first quarter. Still 4 minutes to go here in the third. OBU better get a basket here. Chambers fumbles a pass, right wing side. Maddie with it to Duncan, top of the circle against this matchup zone. They bounce it for Duncan down low, Getman, and it rolls around and rolls off, no good. Thing went around the hoop as slow as it possibly could. Rebound to Farrar, into the front court, Martin through the top of the key. Raby with it. Henderson State, if they make a 3 here, would take the first lead since they led by 1 early in the ball game. Wing left is Jasmine Bailey. She'll bounce it for Farrar. Whips it right corner for Raby. 10 to shoot. Gracie cut off right of the paint. Bounces it down low. Going up as McClendon. The shot's blocked out of bounds.
Great play by Getman coming over. That's going to be an easy layup. Getman comes all the way across the lane for the block shot to save a bucket. Now Getman hit her first shot of the contest. She's missed her last 9.
Only 5 to shoot for Henderson State. Right corner is Raby. Right off the arc. She'll throw up a runner and knocked it down from 13, and the game is tied.
You know, Raby, she can score off the dribble. She's not very tall. You get close to her, you can make her miss those shots.
3 minutes to play. Third period. We're tied at 33. You heard that right. Savannah's pass down low for Duncan is tipped, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Allie McClendon, and here comes Ankney in. She needs to be out there, Scott, to settle this team down.
Yeah, that could have been another break for the Bison there.
Here comes Leslie as well. Duncan is going to go to the bench along with Mo Southern with 2:57 to play and 19 to shoot for the Bison. Tied at 33. OBU to inbound. Savannah with it, left baseline. Ankney now to Chambers. Madison down low. Gets it to Getman, who backs down and scores. Tell you, she was begging for the basketball. She had the defender pinned.
Yep, Getman strong with her body. That allowed that ball to go in. That's
Bison
a push.
just 2 for their last 9. That was a push-off. You're right.
Yeah.
They'll skip it across the floor. Raby drives in, and Farrar is going to be called for staying to the sideline again. It's the second time she's turned it over in that variety.
So sorry I stepped on you that time. I just watched that push off and no call. It just went in my mind as official, Todd. I said, that's a push off.
You and the fan behind me
Yeah.
in unison said the same thing. About scared me.
Yeah.
2:25 to play here in the third. 35-33, Oklahoma Baptist trying to hold off Henderson State. Leslie reverses right side for Madison Chambers. To Leslie inside the arc out high. Bounces it for Getman, who spins and scores. They have no answer right now for Jaden. Feed it to her every time.
All playing strong, got wide base, got the easy reception. Great job by Getman with the power move.
OBU up 6 points in the paint, 20-14 with 2 minutes to go in the third. Right corner is Raby. Whips it left corner, SUNY Martin. Martin bounces it off of the baseline for Bailey. Back to Martin. Martin tries to drive, cross courts it. Raby to Farrar. Around Chambers, now around Leslie, and Jill recovers to block the shot. Leslie has another blocked shot. That's her second of the night and the 5th for OBU.
That's huge because Farrar's going to make that. She's very talented with that finger roll off the board. From behind, 6'3", Leslie with the swat.
90 seconds to go in the third, 37-33. The Bison on a 4-0 run after Henderson State had erased a 9-point halftime deficit and tied it at 33 as Chambers has it knocked out of her hands by Martin in the right corner.
Boy, that's another break. I think Chambers lost control of that ball, and then Martin slapped it away.
Tamia Templeton comes back in with those 4 fouls and still over a period to play. Malou Savannah right side to Ankney. She drives and a foul. She was starting to lose the ball and went to the floor, and I think because of that they called the foul on Jasmine Bailey. That's her first. And I'll tell you, you call it like it is, and OBU right now is getting their fair share of calls.
Boy, I think so too. I think that's a turnover and that's a bailout.
Savannah with it left baseline, 37-33. Bison, 18 to shoot of the reset shot clock. Leslie veers left, hands it to Malou. Savannah right side to Ankney against Jasmine Bailey. Almost lost the handle again, gets into the paint, drop steps, goes up, missed it left-handed. Leslie with a rebound, goes back up in the air. Holy Toledo, what a big play by Joe Leslie. 6 straight for the Bison, they lead 39-33.
Leslie just hanging around the basket, uses her height advantage, reaches over the top, tips it to herself. Great shot.
Templeton gets the bucket back against Leslie at the other end. Tamia with her first. Jill incidentally working at a double-double, 9 points, 8 rebounds in 19 minutes today. 39-35 with 36 seconds to go here in the third. That ends a 6-0 Oklahoma Baptist run. Leslie with it. Left side, Malou Savannah. Jasmine Bailey is on her. 10 to shoot. Down low, it's Getman around Templeton. Layup is good. Rattled around, but stayed the cylinder. Go at Templeton every time. She has 4 fouls.
And at Getman, something lit under her. She missed 9 shots in a row. She's being so strong with her body and determined to the goal. Great playing by Jaden Getman.
For the third time in the last 4 games, the freshman from Stratford, Oklahoma is in double figures. Martin's 3 is good for the top of the key. Martin tonight from long distance is 2 of 4. The rest of the team is 0 for 13, and that will do it on the third period of play with OBU leading Henderson State 41-38. The final 10 minutes coming your way next on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF. Okay.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
I'm I'm attorney Jordan Klinger, partner at McIntyre Law. Before I came to McIntyre Law, I worked for an insurance company that defends cases. That experience provides me insight into how insurance companies operate. That knowledge helps me get the most for our clients. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hard-working Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law and will fight for you.
Here at SCI Supply, you
42% field goal shooting to OBU. They're 1 of 4 from 3, 28% for Henderson State. They're 2 of 15 beyond the arc, and the Reddies a chance to tie with the first possession here with the fourth period. Just underway, game 1 of Henderson State and Oklahoma Baptist. Suni Martin, right side to Ashley Farrar. To Ravy, ripped it away, kicks it out. Left wing Martin, and she got the 3, and the game is tied.
Yeah, Ankney went all the way across from the steal, almost got it, and that allowed Martin to be wide open from the left wing.
So 6 straight, and 6 of the last 8 on the board now for Henderson State. Tied at 41. Right baseline, Getman drives to the goal, misses the backdoor layup. Templeton with a rebound to Martin. Here comes Henderson left to right. Suni cut off foul line left to Farrar on the wing.
Getman, I like that aggressiveness, but then shooting it just a little too fast. You could have had that layup.
Martin, another 3 left wing, no good. Rebound to Kennedy Large, who's out there with 4 fouls to start the fourth period. Large from Ankney swings it left side for Chambers to Leslie down low. Leslie backing down, they double her. She gets it to Chambers, who drives, drops steps, throws it up. Knew she was going to get the contact. Veteran play there by Madison, and she draws the foul on Raby. That's her second. First of the fourth period against the Reddies.
Yeah, and Raby didn't have to do that. She pushed Madison up the lane, and then, like you said, Madison smartly threw it one-handed while she got hit in the gut.
Getman with 10, Madison Chambers with 12, make it 13. The double-figure scores for OBU tonight as Madison hits the first. OBU with that make 11 of 17 at the foul line. 42-41 Oklahoma Baptist, early fourth quarter. The second one is good.
You know, Chambers, when she locks down on the free throws, we talk about Bison missed opportunities first half. When it gets tight and late, she makes them.
Washita in town, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Foul line right, Giles, right quarter. Now they get it to Farrar. Down low to Templeton, who spins against Leslie. Missed everything. Stick back by Farrar is good. 8:35 to play in the ball game, and Ashley Farrar, the leading scorer of the conference, gets her first field goal.
Yeah, Getman's got to come in from that back side to help. When Leslie's playing one-on-one, there's no way that they can get the shot over Leslie, come back and get that rebound for her.
Game tied for the 5th time, this one at 43. 8:18 to go in regulation. Chambers to Jaden Getman out high. 9 to shoot. Attack. Go against Templeton. Now she pulls up. Bang! Knocks a 12-footer down. She made it, Scott, but I want her to get Templeton out of the ballgame.
Yeah, that's true, but you know what? I like the way she relaxed and shot instead of rushing her shot. She can make them.
Farrar, Martin, Suni fakes a pass, drives right, now reverses left wing for Giles. OBU in its own. 7:51 to play. Bison by 2. Farrar for the lead. Air balls the 3. Ashley Farrar has had a dreadful night here to start the first Oklahoma road trip for Henderson State. She can fill it up in a hurry. 44 against Southern Arkansas. 6 games of 20 or more. Double figures in all, 10 for the Reddies coming in. But with that miss, she's now 1 of 9 shooting. Has 6 points, 8 rebounds, and 20-plus minutes.
In this contest, I think Jill Thomas just wants Martin to shoot the threes today, and then since Farrar's a little cold, to shoot off the dribble in the paint.
Ankney being played physical, goes to the rim, takes a hard fall.
Raby
going to the free throw line thanks to Gracie's 3rd foul.
Yeah, she got her hand in the cookie jar. She bailed out. Ankney was off balance, probably going to the floor, but Erica with that high basketball IQ continues. Give with that left hand, put it up, and gets fouled.
Erica's first free throw is up and nothing but net. I don't want to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about right now. Every time OBU has gotten into the paint, Scott, they've either made the shot or got the foul. It's been a whistle or a bucket every time.
And you see what Coach Overton told Getman, just go hard to the basket. You're exactly right. I think he's coaching that way. And most of OBU's doing it. There's really no pull-up jumpers hardly at all for Oklahoma Baptist in this game.
Ankney hits both. It's a 4-0 OBU run after the 3 by Martin, tied it at 43. 7:15 to go. Suni Top of the circle, guarded by Ankney in the 2-3 zone. They're protecting down low against Templeton. Right corner is Raby. Holds it above her head in front of Jill Thomas on the Henderson State bench. Out high, it's Martin. Bounces it down low. Ferrara around the screen. Muscles up, overshot everything. Templeton tips the rebound, and Copeland tried to save it in bounds. It would have been OBU basketball.
Well, she saved it to Kennedy Large, and Kennedy Large ran out of bounds. Why would she go out of bounds?
I know. You can't fault effort, but that's OBU basketball. But in the heat of things, you don't know that was off Templeton. And you're right.
But at the same time, she was going to save it to Large, and Large came out of bounds with her.
Kennedy's had a tough night. Farrar muscles up, ends up on the floor. They swallow the whistle, tie up on the rebound. Arrow belongs to Oklahoma Baptist.
Good hustle by Momo Southern there to tie that ball up.
Enjoy authentic Italian quality pizza right here at Shawnee. Marco's Pizza has lunch specials between 11 and 2 Monday through Friday, starting at $5.49. A student special that includes a large one-topping pizza and cheesy bread for $10. Marco's Pizza lovers get it. Chambers goes left block, funnels a pass to Copeland from 13 to the paint. It rolls off. Martin the rebound. OBU by 4 with 6.5 minutes to play. Farrar into the paint around Copeland, throws it up. Unfortunately, it rolled off.
Boy.
Sierra looked like she was stationary and that Farrar instigated that contest.
That's what I think. I think that's a no call there. You know, I guess you could have a block. That's probably one of those 50-50s. It's a hard job.
I'm going to get on eBay, and you and I are going to wear striped shirts to a game. We're not officials, but sometimes we play the role of one.
Well, I mean, we're just analyzing the game. I guess I'm more of an analyst than you, and you do the play-by-play, but you know what's going on. You've seen thousands of games.
First free throw by Farrar, no good. I also like to call it like I said. I mean, look, I think OBU's gotten the betterment of the calls here in the second half, and look at this. Farrar misses both free throws. The lead remains 4 for the Bison.
And that's the conundrum that OBU's in. They were up by double digits, and they never took advantage of putting away Henderson State. Now you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to the end.
Chambers with the basketball around the Copeland screen. Slides right, goes up, layup is good. Madison Chambers just inserting her will, attacking the goal, and it's a 6-point OBU advantage.
Boy, that is clutch, and being strong with the ball. You got others with that help side zone trying to dig that out, and Chambers that time on the right side. She's right-handed, but she goes left-handed a lot of times.
Farrar to the goal, offensive foul. She ran over Sierra Copeland, and this time Copeland got the foul call on Farrar. That's Ashley's third.
Yeah, I think Copeland was, like you said, stationary the other time. She gets it, she's on the floor, gets up, she took a blow there. Get the license plate of that truck that hit her.
Turnover number 13 for Henderson State.
It was Arkansas plates number 10.
49-43 Oklahoma Baptist trying to go to 5-0 at home, more importantly 3-0 in this back-to-back homestand against the Arkadelphia teams. And it looks like they're going to send both teams to the bench. Do you think maybe they change this call?
Change it to a block?
I think that might be what they're looking at.
Well, I don't know. You know, they're back in the old days, you would never change another, you know, no matter what sport it was, baseball, football, basketball. You go with what the call was. If your partner makes a mistake, they make a mistake.
The game was tied at 43. Since then, over the last 2:37, Oklahoma Baptist is on a 6-0 run. And they're going to come over and take a look at it on the monitor. 5:53 to play. Oklahoma Baptist 49, Henderson State 43. These two teams will play later on in the season in Arkadelphia. And that will be a tough game. In fact, it will be on February the 4th. That's a Saturday afternoon.
They're looking to see if Copeland was inside the restricted area.
It was a quick look at the monitor. And now the three-lady officiating crew visiting once more. What do you think they're going to do?
Well, it was a block. I saw the replay. Copeland wasn't there yet. I think Farrar already beat her regardless, and it looked like she might have been inside that semicircle. So if she's in the semicircle, that way they can reverse the call. Yep,
it looks like they're pointing at the foul line, so it will be not the third foul on Farrar, but instead Sierra Copeland's third. And we'll have 2 free throws.
Well, it should be underneath the goal. I think it's going to be underneath the left block. Wasn't a shooting foul.
Yeah, you're right. It was on the floor. Now, Amy Shelby coming over towards the OBU bench. She's going to inform Bo Overton of the change. And Bo walking shoulder to shoulder, kind of nodding like he's at least in agreement with it.
Well, you know what? It's not. It's not reversed.
So it's going to stand.
They stopped the play, and they're going to give it to OBU. I guess they were looking something that I wasn't looking at. I guess they're looking at some kind of throwing an elbow, a flagrant or something on Farrar, but there was nothing there.
Ball stands. That's the third now on Ashley. Just 2 on Copeland. Chambers. Large to Maddie, right side. 10 to shoot. Chambers, right elbow. Steps around a defender to Southern. Mo drives, draws contact, hit the side of the backboard. Raby was the defender. That wasn't a good shot at all by Southern.
Great defense by Raby.
Yep.
She was straight up and down. Southern, she doesn't have a high release point. It's hard for her to get her shots off down low.
Giles right quarter to Raby. Out front to SUNY Martin. 16 to shoot, 5:10 to play in the ball game. OBU leads it by 6. Martin moves left on the wing. Giles with a basketball, drives against Mo. Lobs it left quarter, 5 to shoot. They run Raby off the arc. She shuffled her feet. That's going to be a travel.
Raby is so good at doing that, getting the defense off their feet, and she had them, but she just tried to get a little extra space for that walk.
4:55 to play in regulation. Bo Overton trying to beat Henderson State for the 2nd straight year here at the Noble. They lead it by 6 on a 6-0 run, a drought that's gone over 3.5 minutes. Down the paint goes Ankney, gliding with the left hand, and it comes down as clean as you please.
That was classic. Right-handed dribbler going with the left hand up the middle of the lane with the left-handed floater.
Erica with 11 points tonight. The top 2 scorers have not been at their usual best offensively tonight. Ankney, though, is winning the ball game 51-43, driving right for the bucket, Giles.
That's just too easy. You cannot give up a quick bucket like that.
51-45, OBU quickly attacks. Henderson gets back. They bounce it to Copeland, elbow right. Chandler hands it to Chambers. Maddie around Templeton, draws a double, whips it to Copeland on the right block. She'll go up and is fouled. And that's it for Tamia Templeton.
And that was all set up by the great dribbling by Madison Chambers with the left hand up the lane, bringing the defense to her, dropping it off to a wide open Copeland.
They're actually saying that's the 4th on Tamia, so I had her for 4. And she remains out there. First foul shot is no good by Copeland. Sierra has 2 points. That came in the first period. This is her first trip to the line, where she was 3 of 5 before that miss. Second one spins off, no good. The door remains open with 4 minutes to play. 6-point game, Oklahoma Baptist, 51-45 here at Shawnee. Bailey moves right, bounces it down low. Nobody was there except Kennedy Large. Large to Ankney, all the way to the goal. Lays it up left-handed, missed it. Copeland crashes for the rebound. Dribbles out. Cross courts it for Southern. Mo for 3. Back rims that one. Copeland was on the back of Raby, pokes it out. Bailey has it. Jasmine into the front court, dances right, veers right. Now bounces to the corner for Giles.
What a great offensive rebound by Copeland.
Down low is Raby. And Copeland blocked the shot. Templeton battling for the rebound. Knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bison.
Another break and great block shot by Copeland, but then Copeland relaxed and just held the ball by her chest and let a Reddy knock it off of her. Looked like it might even went off Copeland, but it's going to be OBU ball.
OBU has 7 blocks tonight. Bo Overton wants a timeout. 3:27 to play in Shawnee. The Bison 51, Henderson State 45 on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits KGFF.
Okay.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Back for the final 3:27 of the ball game, along with Scott Wanish and Tony. I'm Todd. 3:27 to play. 51-45 Oklahoma Baptist. Washita town Saturday afternoon. 12:34 our pregame start. 1 o'clock the women, the men at 3. Next week, a week from tonight, OBU at Harding. 5:30 at 7:30, and then in Russellville a week from Saturday to finish up the first venture into Arkansas against Tech. Ankney, Getman, Leslie, Chambers, and Large, the starting 5 out there at closing time for Bo Overton's club. Getman saves the ball inbounds, and Ankney tips it to Jill Leslie. Back to Erica. Into the paint she goes to a cutting Chambers to the goal. Layup is good. Holy Toledo, what great effort by the Bison. And they lead it by 8.
I guess that's why Erica Ankney was recruited by so many D1 schools. That's outstanding play there.
Ashley Farrar,
you got it, Farrar.
With the basketball to Martin. Martin, a little runner, hit the side of the backboard. Ball was loose, diving to the floor, was Large, and Leslie has it. 2:35 to play in the ball game. Right side, Erica Ankney. They can afford to work the shot clock, but don't get too complacent. Leslie to Large. Back out front to Chambers, right side. Now it's Ankney to Getman. Her pass in traffic, knocked away. Farrar has it. She'll dribble to the goal. Cut off by Getman, bounces it out right, and the ball out of bounds off the Bison.
Good job by Kennedy Large trailing that play. That was a wide open three-point shooter. She knocks that ball out of bounds, erasing that.
7 block shots tonight for Oklahoma Baptist. It's been a big, big statistic of this one. Henderson State still at 29%. Templeton backing down and turns and scores.
Yeah.
Templeton now has 5.
Leslie didn't hold her ground. Templeton just bullied her out of the way for the easy layup.
2:01 to play in regulation. 53-47 OBU. They have the basketball. Ankney, contested shot. Drew some contact. They swallow the whistle. It rolls off. Henderson State with a rebound. Martin into the front court, right side. Farrar thought about it. Now gives it up to Raby on the baseline, and she hit a little in-close jumper.
Just wide open there. They got to converge down there. OBU's done a great job the whole game. Raby wide open at the right block.
53-49. It was almost like the Bison just stood, and nobody even took a step anywhere, like they thought the game had been stopped. Ankney drives, bounces to Leslie, misses the bump. Jill gets her follow, goes back up and in. It's an and one. It's going to turn out better in the long run if she hits the free throw.
Well, that's staying with it. Give it up. I think Leslie, she's good enough to make that first one, but she stayed with it and made it.
Sony Martin with the foul. It's her second. Jill split time between volleyball and basketball, but she's really starting to look like her old basketball self here, Scott, over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, and the Bison, they've only hit 1 3-pointer, and 6'3" Leslie from the left corner. That's so valuable as well.
Free throw up, good. So she gets the old-fashioned 3. She has 12. It's a 7-point game, 1:17 to play. Sony Martin into the front court. It's a 2-3 zone. They bounce it for Raby to Templeton. She juggles it, gets it back. Moves left, shoots and scores over Leslie, who commits the foul.
It's a good call. Leslie came down. Usually Leslie's arms are straight up, but there's just too much penetration where Leslie has to pick it up, and then you have undersized Melissa Southard there on the right block playing defense.
Templeton, not a bad foul shooter. 67% is 1 for 2 tonight. This would pull Henderson State back to within 4 with 74 seconds to play in the ballgame. Free throw is good. Well, Templeton's come alive the last couple of trips down the floor for the Reddies. Here's the full court Henderson pressure. Ankney has the ball in her hands.
You've got multiple possessions here left, so OBU really needs to keep scoring here.
Good job of breaking the pressure. Ankney gets it middle of the floor to Chambers, and Madison works left. A minute to play in the ball game. 16 to shoot for Oklahoma Baptist. They cling to a 4-point lead, 56-52. If my early prognostication was right, Bison win. They beat Henderson State to 55. Ankney down the paint, lobs it left, and it's intercepted. Henderson just will not go away. Raby with the interception all the way to the goal for the layup. She missed it. Leslie and Templeton battle for the rebound. Tamia's on the floor. Now a whistle and a tie-up. And the arrow will favor Henderson State. So they're still breathing. Down 4 with 37.2 seconds to play and 20 of the shot clock.
Yeah, I thought that was an easy rebound for Leslie. Did she just fumble that ball? Bo Overton walked right in front of me.
Henderson to inbound, the cross court at left corner for Giles. And she was standing on the sideline. I swear, Scott, I've been doing this longer than most people have been alive. And I think this entire basketball season at all levels, I've seen more violations on the sideline this year than I've seen in my life.
Yeah, and it usually happens in the men's game because the men are larger and it's hard for them to step. You see more, actually you're seeing more this year in Division II in this league than you do in the NBA. And it's really tight in the NBA with a three-point line down the corner.
I've seen enough of that, too, which just bothers the heck out of me. I mean, these guys get paid millions of dollars to play a game. They don't know where they are on the spacing of the floor.
Well, it's footwork. I know as a three-point shooter, I've had trouble with that, too, down in the corner where you kind of want to get your base sometimes if the pass is off and your right foot as a right-hander will go back a little too much.
I never had a problem with the sideline. I was always standing there sitting on it, should I say. 35 seconds to play. 56-52 Bison.
Game is not over. We got to be strong with the basketball here.
Chambers to Jaden Getman of the freshman fouled immediately. It should go against Giles. And that is Abby's first personal.
I think Raby got a piece of flesh on Getman as well.
That's the 5th against Henderson State, so Jaden will go to the line. It is not a 1-and-1, a 2-shot foul. Jaden Getman today is 2 for 2. Jaden has scored 10 or more points now in 8 of 11 games, 3 of her last 4. And that's a big one. She makes it a 3-possession game by hitting the first free throw.
And that was money. I mean, you see when Getman relaxes and shoots, just a perfect follow-through. She just needs to slow down just a little bit off the dribble.
Second one rolls home, 58-52, half a minute to play. Left side is Farrar, pulls up off the dribble and rattles home a jumper. And immediately a timeout called by Jill Thomas with 27.3 seconds to play. Well, it's this simple. If you take care of the basketball and hit free throws, you're going to win. You're up 4 in a 2-possession lead. It's a 60, so we'll pause after these messages. The final conclusion to this one here on the Bison Sports Network and KGFF.
At Boomerang, we are proud to say that word of mouth has filled our restaurants for over 15 years. The appeal to Boomerang covers all ages. Come and visit our Shawnee locations and you will see why we have been voted Best Burger, Best Breakfast, and Best Waitress.
Fans, the next time you're in downtown Shawnee, you're hungry, it's lunch, stop by the Lunchbox Sandwich Shop at 217 East Main. For sandwiches, salads, soups, and dessert, it's the Lunchbox. It's not just deli, it's delicious. Well, OBU now calls a timeout with 27.3 seconds to play, leading by 4.
And the reason Overton did that, he gets to advance the ball to midcourt, so that's a good play with Jill Thomas going man-to-man, full court pressure, trying to get the ball. And this is where Overton has his nice set plays here in the front court where before, if you had a good three-point shooter like Mallory Lockhart, it would be an option off that. But I bet you this time it's going to be somebody strong, get the ball like Ankney and Getman, who can both shoot free throws.
OBU will inbound in the front court. That's another reason they took the timeout. Ankney will be fouled by Abby Giles, and Erica Ankney's going to the free throw line with 24 seconds to play. Erica was telling you and I before the game, she actually majored in mass communication. I have no doubt that young lady could do our job as well or better than we do.
Well, she's intelligent. It takes a while to get to your level, but, she's very articulate, bright young woman, high IQ, can play under pressure, but she just missed that free throw.
She'll get one more, this to make it a 5-point game. Second one is up, and it's good. Erica Ankney tonight has 12 points. 20 seconds to play. Suni Martin into the front court and a foul.
Overton called for that to try to take some time off and make the Reddies do another set.
The reason why, that's only OBU's third here of the period, and that one is against Madison Chambers. That's her first. So now Henderson will have to inbound across the way. Suni Martin tried to bounce it for Templeton. It's off of her shins, picked up by Ankney. Erica then is going to be fouled by Farrar from behind. That should be the fourth on Ashley Farrar.
Now, a lot of turnovers for Henderson, a lot of bad passes. They did a good job to get back into the game. OBU didn't take advantage of their double-digit lead in the opening half. This game's over with Ankney and the free throws.
First one up, nothing but net. Incidentally, the foul not on Farrar. It's the third against Suni Martin. Second one is up, and it's good. That'll do it. 61-54, 12 seconds to play. Martin into the front court. Underhands a pass to Giles, right side. Farrar, a deep three, hits the side rim. Ankney with a rebound, 2 seconds, 1 second. Win column, Oklahoma Baptist. OBU holds on to a share of first place in the Great American Conference. Knocked it off Henderson State tonight, 61-54. And Scott, the growth of this program continues to be on display night in and night out. And this was a game that maybe at the start of the year they don't win. Certainly a game that they would not have won in past years.
Certainly in past years. Got more balanced scoring. Bo Overton has so many more options with his great recruiting that he does. So he's got a deep bench and he can alternate whenever he wants.
Final score in the women's game, Oklahoma Baptist now 5-0 in the conference. They beat Henderson State 61-54. The Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits KGFF.
Kids, be treated under and get it free. Bring your kids to enjoy games in the Hertz
Okay.
and other fun activities.
2 minutes, please.
Stick around as our big game. This game tips off in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey. That's fine. Makes and attempts. The foul line, Henderson was 11 of 19. The Bison were 20 of 29. Rebounds, Henderson plus 7, 41-34, plus 10 on the offensive glass, 15-10. That led to a 13-7 second chance advantage for the visitors from Arkadelphia. Henderson 10 assists tonight, 20 made baskets, 7 assists, 20 made field goals for OBU. 10 steals in the ball game for Henderson State, 6 for Oklahoma Baptist, 7 blocks for the Bison, and 1 for the Reddies. Points from turnovers, 16-6 OBU. Points in the paint, 34-24 Bison. Told you second chance points, 13-7 Henderson. Fast break points, 5-4 OBU. Bench scoring 8-3 Henderson State. Officially tonight, 2 in double figures, 14 points from Gracie Raby, 13 points from Sony Martin, 7 points from Tamia Templeton. Most of those came late. Leading rebounder with 8 points was Ashley Farr, and she finished with 9 rebounds. She also had 2 assists and a steal. 4 points apiece from Abby Giles, 4 from Bobby Basil, and 4 points tonight from Allie McClendon off the bench. Bison managed 4 in double figures, led by Madison Chambers, who Scott will talk to here momentarily. The senior from Muldrow, 18 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block shot, and she was really good in the middle to late stages of the fourth quarter. 14 apiece from Erica Ankney, 14 points from Jaden Getman, and 12 from Jill Leslie, who had a double-double today with 10 rebounds, 2 block shots. Sierra Copeland had 3 block shots. She had 2 points, 3 rebounds in a winning effort for OBU. The only other Bison to play and score was Sydney Duncan, who split a pair of free throws for her only point. Sydney did not pull down a rebound as well. Final score in this one, 61-54, Oklahoma Baptist. Reddies go to 6-5, 3-2 in the conference. They head to Bethany for a Saturday afternoon game against Southern Nazarene. OBU welcomes in Washita on Saturday afternoon, now 9-2, winners of 8 straight, and 5-0 in the conference. One Dog and Maddie Chambers coming your way next as our wrap-up show continues from the Noble on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits KGFF.
Thank you.